Everyone, it's been a while since I did a product breakdown, but today I saw this one coming along. Gist on Product Hunt, Twitter for podcasts meets YouTube's business model. Sounds pretty interesting. Speak your mind. It's looks like it's an app where you can easily uh, make short audio clips and upload them, so you don't have to have a high bar of performance. Um, and I have an old story that would maybe fit uh, in this context that I wrote last year. It's about uh, a cat. So let's try it out. I have the story here and see if Gist works. I like the black layout with the red and white highlights, by the way. And here's a list of other Gists. Let's go. Record audio. Why having a pet is fantastic for your kids, even if you hate pets. Okay, here I am, sitting next to my wife, and like every so often she begins the sweet, loving talk of having a pet. A kitten, to be more precise. Let's get a kitten, she says again. Yes, kittens are cute. Yes, they are doodly fluffy balls. Yes, they make you all fuzzy inside. Yes, they even make this sometimes grumpy dude act like a child again. But God, they shit and pee everywhere. Also, cat hair will be all over the place. You see, I don't like taking care of animals. I mean, I enjoy interacting and playing with them, but not so much that I want to suffer the negatives of having an animal in the house. But the kids would love it. Please, just let's get a kitten or two. And every time this happens, I'm like, nope, like Chuck Testa says it. Now you may think, who's this Gibran being all nope about it? You should be dope about it. Why would you keep your family from having such funsies in the house? You even grew up with cats yourself. I must admit, I once said we would get a kitten when our youngest child would be 1 year old. That was a while ago already. So I get it that my wife asked for a kitten. The kids don't yet, though. So they're not missing out, right? But there's another part of the story. Something between my wife, me, and the previous cat we, or should say she, had. Poes. She had a cat. His name was Poes, which means cat in Dutch. Yes, very original. My wife got Poes as a gift from a friend when she was a student. We didn't know each other at the time, and I only found out about Poes after a few dates we had. Poes had one minor problem, you see, he was deaf. As maybe just a few of you know, a deaf cat is unfortunate to say the least. When cats don't hear anything, they typically have an astounding hearing, you know. They become a little crazy. And crazy Poes was. Oh, he was so crazy. He made the most fucked up sounds imaginable. The sounds Poes made seemed like a baby being in terror and pain. He would always make those screeching, howling sounds when my wife wasn't in view. Even if she was in another room, it triggered it. This behavior was even worse when my wife wasn't at home. Puss would run from room to room, howling like his life depended on it. It didn't matter if I was there in the house. Just going back into these memories makes my cortisol levels rise. So, Puss didn't care that I was there. At first, he didn't think positively about me, which I can highlight through an interesting experience. When my wife and I started dating, we did, sexy smexy things. Making good use of the bed in that case is essential. But of course, I hadn't thought about whose bed it was we were having fun on. No, not my wife's. It was the bed of a totalitarian state owned by a dictator named Puss. So it was no wonder that on multiple occasions I got bitten in my foot while doing, lovemaking. 5 years of love, Puss for my wife, hate for me, for Puss. Relationship went by before Puss died. Let's see how the time goes, by the way. Okay. I'm not sure where I'm at. After that, I could finally get a good night's sleep. I did feel sorry for him, though. Puss didn't ask to be born deaf, and his terror howls were his only option for the fear he had. So maybe we could get a cat after all, not a deaf one, and only when our kids can take care of it themselves. I'll pour one for you, Poes. Okay. Poes. Gist. Let's see what happens. Uploaded. All right, link, copy to clipboard, but I'm not sure. Does it work? Yes. All right. Now I'm going to share it. Let's share it on Twitter, shall we? Right. Look at Gist. They have an Twitter. Gist. Invited. Took Gist for a run. We'll see what happens. All right. Well, looks fun. Let's listen to a few. Awesome accent. Okay, well, listen to stories, but I think to use this as a Twitter, as they say, Twitter for podcasts, I think it needs to have a good, well, app or interface to listen to them. So they show an app here, so that's good. I think that would be cool if you can then reply maybe with voice or text beneath it. That would be cool. But this on their website like that, I wouldn't use it. So I think an app is key for success. And I'm not even sure if they should have launched without the app. Maybe this is a test run to see to validate their ID. Anyway, not much to say. I think the idea is cool. One thing I do want to mention is how would I find gists that I'd like? So, because I think a title of the gist is very important. So, yeah, I think I need to think about it for a bit. But how do you find good gists? It would be a key question to ask. Well, that's it. See you guys.